안녕하세요. 림베시 싱가포르 남자입니다. 네, 안녕하세요 여러분들. So it's a very beautiful Sunday afternoon. This beautiful spring day. I'm just taking a walk through this old neighborhood here in Seoul. And yeah, sometimes I like to walk around in this old neighborhood because I think I like the feeling here. It looks and feels exactly like what you see in the dramas, but this isn't where people, at least for myself, I don't see myself staying in this kind of areas. So from time to time I like to just come here for a stroll, see people just living very quiet life around here, narrow streets, and very very long stairs leading up to the park. Very typical kind of setup along the hill. So if you guys are interested in this kind of what we call the Chutex, well, check out the other video that I made covering this area. Why I say people like me won't be staying in this area. So what kind of people stay in this area? What is it like living here? Check out that video here. So just sitting here at this long staircase, really Korean drama style. I just want to talk about what is living in Korea like for myself. Why do I say for myself? Because like some of you may try to generalize like my experience to be like most people's experience here in Korea, but that's not true. Now, in order to understand why that's not true, you need to first understand a little bit more about me. Okay, I'm Singaporean, but I didn't come from Singapore to Korea. Okay, this is my third year in Korea, but before I came to Korea, I spent about 12 years in China, mostly in Shanghai and Beijing, and another 1 year before that in Tokyo. So I have been away from Singapore and living in Four Seasons country for a good 15 over years. Okay, and that would give me a lot. That would make me feel a lot differently about Korea than I think most typical Singaporeans, right? So, and the second thing that will make a big difference is this: I don't have to work. Because I'm a professional options trader. I've been trading options for the past 16 years or so professionally. So I pretty much make money anywhere and everywhere in the world, anytime I like. So even here in Korea, in 3 years, I don't work here at all. And the fact that I don't have to work here, okay, it's a huge difference in what you will feel about living in Korea. Okay, so bearing these two things in mind, let's talk about, to me, how is what's living in Korea like. Well, to me, I think there's 3 stages of my experience about living in Korea. First is the first year is what I call the honeymoon phase, and then the second year, what I call the struggle phase. And then the third year, which is right now, I'll call the stable phase. Now, when I first came to Korea, I came from Beijing. So actually, I was quite shocked about everything because I took a bus ride from Incheon to downtown Seoul in Myeongdong, and I was actually quite surprised because before that trip, I've never been to Korea, never ever. Okay, I've never even toured in Korea before. So that was my first time. I moved here to Korea, and that was the first time I came to Korea. And I was really surprised because in my mind, Korea is like 亚洲四小龙, the four dragons of Asia, and like Seoul is like a super developed kind of city and everything big and everything modernized. But when I first arrived in Seoul, I was actually shocked to find like it feels more like Hong Kong, than anything. I find like buildings are very crammed together. They are short and cramped. Roads are small and narrow, but that's because buildings are huge and roads are wide, and everything is just big and wide in Beijing, where I was from. Okay, that was actually my first impression. So like, wow, why do I feel so claustrophobic? Like everything's so cramped up, everything's so closed up together. Comparatively, if I don't imagine, Singapore actually feels a lot more spacious than here in Korea. As you can see, like in this town, everything is so cramped up. You see, everything's so cramped up, very cramped up. But of course, this is the old town places. There are places in Seoul where the roads are wide as well, in Gangnam or what. But that's not like how it is generally, right? So that was my first impression. And after that, the thing is, there's 4 clear seasons, but there was 4 clear seasons in China as well. So 4 clear seasons, being able to see the snow guaranteed every winter, is not something which thrills me very much. But you know what thrilled me is that there's 4 clear seasons and it's very clean. Now the thing about Beijing is that there's 4 clear seasons, but it's very dirty. You know? Air pollution is crazy. It's like we're talking about on a nice clear day, it's about 200 plus. Okay, 200 plus points, people here freak out already. But in Beijing, it's like 200 plus. Wow, it's a clear day. 500 plus, okay, it's bad. Okay, I better put on a mask. And 500 plus days are common. Even 1000 plus days happens in Beijing. So when it snows in Beijing, it literally, the snow is yellowish in color, and once it hit the floor, it becomes yellow mud because it collects all the yellow dust from the air. It's very terrible. But what struck me the most was like the snow here in Seoul was so white and beautiful, just like the snow I saw back in Japan. Very soft, white and clean. So wow, it's like the environment here is so clean. I really love it. So I came. Now during that first year, living here was like that first year living here is like being a perpetual tourist. Everything is just so different. Like I still remember one thing I said during that first year was that the moment I came to Korea, it felt like I landed on Mars. It felt like I landed in some other planets rather than in some other country. Because even though this is an Asian country, the moment I came, I could not understand anything they say. They could not understand anything I say because even the youngsters don't speak English here. I don't understand the way they behave as well. It was very hard for me to understand why some of them behave to me in a very weird manner. And then I have friends actually correcting me on a lot of things, how I should look, how I should act, how I should address her, how I should react to certain things. Everything seems to have a fixed format. For that first year I was quite okay. To me it was fascinating. It was like, wow, this is really, like, I've been around the world so much, very few countries struck me as a foreign country anymore. I don't feel like I'm in a foreign land in most countries. But the moment I came to Korea, I was like, wow, it's like I don't understand anything that's happening, and because of that, I find it very exotic and very beautiful. I find the culture very beautiful, very exotic, and it was an amazing experience. I was going around, and that first year is like nothing more than just playing, okay. But it didn't take long for me to realize that I'm not gonna be able to survive here or at least like live a very comfortable life, or be at ease with myself if I don't at least speak their language. So that's when I started to learn. I enrolled into Hanyang University towards the second half of the first year to learn Korean language. Okay, so now that I studied Korean language in Hanyang University for 2 years, and those 2 years in Hanyang University truly exposed me to what it meant to be in a Korean institution. Even though it's just a language school, I think that's probably like 50% of the real experience. But the kind of rigidness, competitiveness, the kind of formalities, the kind of caste structure that exists took me a long time to get used to. Like language schools that in my mind is like fun and everything, but what I went through was what a lot of people told me, very similar to the actual Korean bachelor the degree courses that they went through. Very high tension. Every day there's a whole ton of homework. You study easily 10 hours and above because you have to, apart from your regular apart from attending school, you have to do a daily homework. Homework is like daily, and there's a lot of homework. You gotta spend hours on it, and then you have to spend hours to prepare for the following day. You actually have to prepare for your lessons, because if you don't, you're not gonna be able to catch up, and you won't be able to go on to the next level if you don't meet certain requirements as well. See, it's very rigid and it is very competitive, and even within the structure, when you experience the administration and things like that, it's the Korean style like administration, and I always suppose that in a university, the procedures could actually be better than some companies or what outside. I'm not sure, but it wasn't pleasing. A lot of things, it's very hard to get a lot of things done, um, and I realized at that point of time it's like the administration in Korea is just not as super efficient as what I was used to in Singapore, and it's not as flexible as I experienced in China, where a lot of rules can be banned or simply went around with, but no, not here in Korea. So it's very rigid, but yet it's not that efficient. Like Singapore is rigid, but Singapore is very efficient. So administrative things gets done really smoothly, and you know very clearly what to do step by step. Everything's very open, but you're gonna deal. I dealt with a lot of frustrations during that first 1.5 to 2 years, sorting out the school administration as well my visa administration and things like that. I was put through that period of time, even up to today, made me look upon Korean administrative process in a somewhat negative light. Actually, I still feel that way. Okay, I still feel that way because it's just so hard to find instructions to do anything, or even to get clear instructions from people in authority, officials. You can't even get the correct procedures from these people, and you're left to sort out a lot of things for yourself. So I thought, like, because Singapore is that efficient, and in China it's like you just have to pay somebody and somebody will get everything done for you. It's very convenient. But it's like down here it's just so different in that way that took me a long time to get. Now, no, it didn't take me a long time to get used to, because I'm still not used to it. To me, it's still kind of bullshitty. Sorry, I have to use that term. Okay, but so apart from that, now daily life, I love the daily life here, because basically I don't work. I sleep till late. I go out for coffee and walks, and I realized that as long as you don't have to work here or study here, Korea is beautiful. Like after I finished my 2 years of study, I that just now I think what I described was like the struggle phase. Okay, let's get back to the struggle phase. Like during the second year, the other thing that I found most hard to do in life in Korea is really just to cope with the language. You have to study very hard, and if you don't get to a certain level in this language, living here becomes, you start to get only very close to the foreign community, or even stay near foreigner concentrations areas. I think it pretty much defeats the purpose of being in Korea. So second year to me was very hard. I struggle with language mainly, and I struggled with customs. I struggled to understand why Koreans react in certain ways towards me, and how I should react towards them. And I realized, like, during that period of time, I ran into a lot of problems, because what we generally consider to be good or proper or correct in our culture can actually be completely opposite. It can actually be bad in Korean culture. Okay, I don't want to go into specifics because this is not the video I will talk about these issues, but I think I've thrown enough clues about this issue over many of my previous videos as well. So now, after I finish all this struggle, like people say right now I speak Korean, I look Korean, I look like, like every day I eat only Korean food. Now, food to me was never a struggle. Okay, to some Singaporeans, if you are living overseas for the first time, okay, you're gonna crave Singapore food. Down here in Korea, I eat Korean food only every single day, and of course, chicken. I have a lot of fried chicken. I love the Korean fried chicken. Before coming to Korea, I never had tteokbokki or Korean fried chicken before. Never. To me, those are girlish things. I don't eat that kind of things. But after I come to Korea, I just embrace the local food, and I find that Korean food was nice. I only started picking up Korean food after I come to Korea, and right now I only eat Korean food. I have no craving for other food. But that's because I've been away from Singapore for like 15 years. My first 1 or 2 years away from Singapore. Wow, I crave Singapore food like crazy. I think the first 5 years, after went back to Singapore after the first 5 years, I went back to Singapore. I was eating like crazy, but after that, I lost it. These days, when I go back to Singapore, I don't even bother to eat because just no crave. Like in front of my house is already a Singapore chicken rice shop, and I rarely go. No, you just lost that craving, and you are able to. I lose the craving about 5 years after. Now it's like 16 years after leaving Singapore. I can live with any food, and right now I only eat Korean food. And I think it's really nice. Especially after I met my Limbu, my Korean girlfriend, my current girlfriend. I call her Limbu. She makes all kinds of fantastic Korean food almost every day for me, despite her very busy working schedule. I really love her very much. I really appreciate all the love that she given me, and she really put in effort into the relationship. And truly, she's such a fantastic chef. I think a lot of you would have watched her Limbu Korean Girl Kitchen videos, right? She's that good. Okay, I really thankful for her. She's one of the. I really thank God for meeting my girlfriend. Yeah, really changed my life, which really gave me up to this point my I would say stage 3. Once you get past all this difficulty, right now, what's living in Korea like for me? Once I really gotten over all the hurdles and stuff, well, after all that, living in Korea to me is just normal. It's a normal life here. There's not, apart from different food, which after a while you get used to it. It's not that much different anyways. And then you have 4 seasons, very beautiful weather, very beautiful surroundings, extremely clean weather and surrounding. Even though some Koreans will disagree, saying that these days the air pollution is bad, but if you say that, try China. Okay, and if you think Singapore is good, try Singapore during certain times of the year. You will see how bad it gets even in Singapore. It's a global thing, so yeah. Okay, so I think daily life here in Korea, for me, because I don't have to work, it's a very relaxed, very calm, very beautiful life, where things are just like everything here, even like messy places, just oozes a sense of beauty. And people around you, well, some people would say they're just being fake friendly and it's just following customs, but even that is nice. Even that is nice. The language is beautiful. After getting through the difficulty of the language, I've come to a new appreciation about the beauty of the language. Well, apart from that, my life here is very quiet. I spend my time and my life mainly with my girlfriend, Limbu. I rarely go out much. I go out as and when I feel like it. And most of the other times I just stay at home. I like to stay at home, watch TV, play game. Yeah, I'm a gamer, for those of you who don't know. And I work at night in the US market trading options. So I'm not even curious to go to, one thing is every month, based on the season, there could be some special hingsa, what you call festivities going on. I'll visit those festivities and I do cover them in my videos for you guys as well. Apart from that, CGV cinema is just across the street from my place. I just go, I watch a movie whenever there's a good one. Whenever Limbu and I have time in the evening, we will have chicken and beer and have a lot of soju. Both of us drink a lot and basically have a good time. That's the Korean idea, having a good time, drinking. Like Singaporeans will go party, like even Chinese in Beijing or Shanghai, going party and stuff. But here in Korea, even amongst the young folks, it's all about drinking. And I like that style. So whenever my Korean friends ask me out, it's always to drink. So I love it. I love to drink till I drop. So I really love this kind of stuff. And then the next day I just sleep the whole day or sleep 2 days if I like. Well, I would say if you can afford to live my lifestyle, you don't have to work and you can afford to live well in a proper apartment, and have the money for you don't have to worry about money. This place is like just awesome. It's safe, clean, beautiful. Not all parts of Korea are safe. Actually, Singapore have a much lower crime rate than Korea. Korea has like murders are actually quite common, yeah. But then again, it's not like common enough that you are worried about on the streets. But no, it's like 1 or 2 times a year you hear that kind of news. But generally, it's very safe to walk on the streets, even in the wee hours of 1, 2, 3 a.m. It's very safe here. It's very beautiful. 4 clear seasons. The food is nice. The people are nice. Girls are nice. Okay, no, not girls are nice. Only my girlfriend is nice. So, you guys, good luck, And it's a, I would say, if I have to choose somewhere to retire, which is Asian, beautiful, 4 seasons, and clean, good for health, I will come to Korea. I will come to Korea. I won't go, because if you look at it, Asian countries with 4 clear seasons, just China, Korea, and Japan. Okay. And China, as you know, fake food, polluted air. I had a lot of it. I'm glad I survived. Japan, very iffy. There's this nuclear thing going on, very iffy. Only Korea is, I think, still the best for health amongst the three. So, yeah. So there's a lot of you who cannot afford this lifestyle. You're gonna experience a very different Korea. Like, if you have to work in their companies and then you have to do peak hour subway every day. I rarely even need to take the subway because I don't need to go anywhere. My neighborhood is the most important thing to me because I'll spend most of my time in my neighborhood. I don't have to travel. I don't have no reason to go elsewhere. So when I look for my apartment, the neighborhood is actually very important for me. Yeah, I love this neighborhood. This neighborhood is just fantastic here in Yihuan Women's University. Yeah. So I guess that's it. To me, living in Korea is beautiful, it's serene, it's quiet. I live a very quiet, serene life surrounded by beauty every day. With good food and a very interesting culture and people. Yeah, I love it here. I love it. Fantastic. Yeah. But like I said, that's just me. You might have a very different experience here in Korea. I think most 99% of the people will have a very different experience of Korea. So don't be surprised, okay? To me, Korea is all good. Even though a lot of people like watch my video and think I hate Korea, or like I think everything's bad in Korea, but that's not true. If I don't like it here, I will leave. I have no reason to be here. I'll just leave. So the fact that I'm here is because I like it. I actually love it here. Okay, but of course, me and Limbu we are moving to US towards the end of the year. So I'm expected to like spend like 6 months here in Korea, 6 months in US, going to and fro. But anytime I feel like it's too much of a hassle, I just move to US as well. Well, that's just me. I'm a globetrotter. Everywhere that makes sense to me, I'll go. So yeah, but don't worry for the future of this channel. I have ways to keep it interesting and informative for all of you. Continue to give you guys great information about my experiences out here in the world. Alright? So yeah, that's what I think about living in Korea. Okay? So see you guys next time. Annyeong.